Okay,
Well, meeting, right?
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to leave meeting, still being recorded. And
but you could pause it somehow.
I think, I don't know if you have to pause it.
Yeah, there is.
Stop video, oh, it didn't work.
Oh, here, pause it.
Anyway,
I guess we're starting at 6:34 p.m. on Thursday, April 18th, the Watertown Commission on Aging. And we'll do the roll call. Want to start?
Santina.
Carol Stepan. Karen Hosking.
Oh, Michael.
Sally Pushless and Laura Gray is here. And our new, sorry, I forgot your name. Park and Recreation Director.
Michael Gain,
Michael Gann.
right, so who is here again, please?
Santina.
Carol Stepanik. Karen Hosking.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So Melanie and Heather are absent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your patience. Okay,
Correspondence.
all right, so for correspondence, I'd like to bring to your attention, and if you don't mind, taking a look at the monitor. This is, what I'd like to show you this evening is what I presented to the public at the public hearing on the 11th. Started off by telling folks, what our mission is, and part of our mission is to provide high quality parks and facilities and a variety of cultural, recreation, senior and social services for all ages during all seasons. We strive to avail ourselves to each household in one way or another, and at one time or another to utilize our resources. This is a draft of our organizational chart. We're working on that as we go, but for me to be able to build the budgets for all of the divisions of which I supervise, we have to have a updated organizational chart. Some of our parks include over 200 acres, plus the 250 acres at Crestbrook, 5 recreational athletic complexes and several pocket parks, numerous multi-purpose athletic fields and diamonds, 4 playscapes, multiple pavilions and gazebos, 4 lakes with waterfront, miles of walking trails, and the Bark Park. On the recreation side, we have nearly 6,000 registrations year over year with over 500 activities. Some of the activities that we have for folks of most ages, but these pertain to the sports league and clinics. There's an example of them: volleyball, karate, basketball, and swim. Specific to youth, we have all of our summer camps, swim lessons, cooking classes, theater classes, play groups, little scientists, babysitting courses, and hip hop and ballet dance classes. One of the things that we wanted to do is we want to be more than sports as well, so we're putting an emphasis on programs that serve folks that have more talent than just the sports organizations and groups. Some adult programs are self-defense classes, yoga, dog training, Zumba, line dancing, karate lessons, first aid and CPR, pickleball clinics, open gym basketball, and adult lap swimming. The Falls Avenue Senior Center, Laura has worked hard to present a deeper dive into how we came to these numbers, which I'll yield to Laura when it's her time on the agenda. If we have that, I think we do have that on the agenda. But we have nearly 600 current members. Event participation is a little over 12,000. Transportation one-way trips is nearly 2,000, and municipal agent services, which include Protective Services Agency, Meals on Wheels referrals, wellness and home visits, energy assistance applications, as well as housing inquiries. Support, we've fielded approximately 500 calls regarding the municipal aging services. Special events and activities at the senior center include, and this is not an all-inclusive list, but some of the special events and activities include senior appreciation luncheon, blueberry bake-off, sock hop, harvest hoedown, holiday celebration, Valentine's luncheon, Holyoke log cabin dinner and show, Clyde Cider Mill and Mystic, Connecticut Riverboat ride, Mother's and Father's Day celebrations, picnic at the park, and I know we'll be having something at Crestbrook Park. Well, I think you have hot dog socials there a couple times a year, Laura, if I'm not mistaken.
And veterans, yeah.
Okay, veterans, okay. Crestbrook Golf Course celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2025. We've reported about the number of rounds played and the golf membership sold. Revenue that we spoke about specifically as it applies to Crestbrook, because on town budget, it's a little interesting or different how the budget is. You can see the cost, but the revenues are on the back pages, which would be 73 if you guys have reviewed the town budget. Social services, we have a lot of people, over 2,000 clients who visit the food bank, almost 800 clients using other services. 250 clients were vetted for renters rebates, 115 families and 293 individuals were provided a Thanksgiving meal. 151 families and 292 individuals were provided with holiday baskets. 118 children were provided with toys. 15 households received heating assistance, some of which will include service of boilers and furnaces. 78 energy applications were vetted, and 18 clients utilized the Munson Fund, which was established to assist clients with outstanding medical bills. Some events that we do for the community, not program specific, but something that we invite everybody to attend. Night out on Main Street, zombie road race, ice skating, holiday craft fair, cut the truck, don't worry, be happy, which is revolved around Easter. Fishing derby, Earth Day cleanup, coolest canine contest, entertainment at the park, battle of the bands, pool and foam party, trunk or treat, trick or treat, back to school pencil hunt, Friday night frenzy, and drool in the pool. Some other things that we do that involve partners, partners would be the Rotary Club, the Women's Club, the Lions Club. Running clubs, we veterans organizations, we assist community partners with the Shamrock Shuffle, Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans, Halloween at the Firehouse, the Santa Light Parade, Memorial Day Parade, Fall Festival, Korean War Memorial Service, 9/11 Memorial Service, Special Citizens Christmas Party, Cookies and Milk with Santa, Wreaths Across America, Pearl Harbor, Veterans Day Memorial Service, and Harvest Cruise Car Show, just to name a few. Our budget increases that we asked for year over year pretty nominal, as most of them are Crestbrook, and most of that is to fix historical anomalies in the budget. And then as it pertains to senior services, we have requested an increase in the vehicle maintenance line. That was all accepted by the town council, except that when the town council voted to reduce both the town side of the budget by 800,000 and the board of ed side of the budget by 800,000. So the town manager then proposed that we would take a cut in the senior center operators line, which this is where we pay for our bus drivers. Keep in mind that our bus drivers are willing and able to do more than drive the buses, so there are times when they are supporting our staff in other ways, which is very important to the quality of the services that we're providing. So Laura and I will work throughout the year to see how we're going to work with that $5,600 reduction in what we requested in the budget. And some of that will come to light as we finish this fiscal year and we get some of the reporting back from the fiscal office. So that is what I presented to the town at the public hearing that was held at Dante Trumbull School a couple of weeks ago. No, actually, just a week ago. Right, was it Thursday, just a week ago?
Mhm.
And let me pull up the agenda again, hopefully I can find that, let me put it in here, that Melanie, you arrived at, let's say.
6:40.
6:40,
Sorry, guys.
that's, oh, sorry. Alright, so is Melanie now running the meeting, or?
If she wants to. We were just going over correspondence,
No. I don't. You do correspondence.
that's what he's doing right now,
Okay.
he was just doing his presentation.
And that was fabulous, thank you. Thank you
You're welcome.
very much. What's next then? Public participation? And we don't have any.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of March 21st? Okay,
Second.
thank you. A motion made by Al. And then, that's that, okay.
Who seconded that?
I did, Sally.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sally
Yeah.
Hesslis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? Abstentions, the minutes are approved of March 21st. Reports of chairman, I don't have any report. Park and Rec director, I think. Give a report from you.
Okay, let me just finish this. So a lot of my report was meant to be, that presentation that I just made, but, I'll tell you, since last month, we continued to evaluate, the operations at the senior center. I think there's a lot of great things happening there. They're very welcoming to me every time I go in there. I hope that lasts, for a very long time. I think that can be, I don't think it's going to light up, but I was gonna give Laura credit because she's very enthusiastic when she introduces me, and they seem to appreciate when I stop by, so I try to stop by as often as I can, and I will be stopping by on a regular basis. Laura and I are planning to do a meet and greet, both with the staff there, but also the participants or the members that might be there at the given day. I'll probably just try to get them to know me a little bit better. So that's next on our list of things to do. And that is my report this evening.
Thank you. Senior Services Coordinator, Municipal Agent, Laura.
Thank you, Martin. Generally, I go over the activities that we've done in the past 30 days, but tonight, I think I'm gonna provide a little bit of additional information from what Michael has already stated. Do you have this information to bring up, Michael?
Yeah. So I slid a slide in. So
Okay.
there's the org chart specific to the senior center. And this is a draft. We will continue to work on that, but earlier, excuse me, Laura, for a second, but earlier in the slide, I showed you the organizational chart for the Parks and Recreation Department, which included all of the divisions. This is specific to the senior center.
So, as most of you know, we started with our My Senior Center in January of 2023. So at this point, almost all of our statistics are in My Senior Center. We're still reconciling some data from paper applications and things that existed prior to my arrival there. But for the most part, the data is in there. And so we're really experiencing or trying to test what reports come from what data, so we can really fine tune things. But we certainly think that our reports are stronger than a year ago, because we're only working on two and a half months of data at budget season. So, essentially the seniors are coming in, they're scanning in with their key card, their key tag, and they're checking the activity that they're there for. They may be there for multiple activities in a day. And so once the member signs in, that data is collected, is stored in My Senior Center. The staff, we have a couple of staff that are a little more fluid with the requesting reporting. And as I said, they're troubleshooting and testing it and we do speak to My Senior Center, the company itself pretty frequently, just to try to get those particular requests quickly. So if we don't think we're finding exactly what we want, we're on the phone with them all the time to try to get that information. So we are using the data to determine what activities are successful, what activities are well attended, which ones are not. We may be spending more money in an activity, yet there are not many people going to it. So we are using the data to inform decision making and best use of our resources. And certainly we always consider senior feedback when we're talking about any activity. So we do try to check in regularly with the seniors about that. So as we move forward to the next couple of slides, one of the things I want to point out is My Senior Center provides reporting for every swipe. So every time a senior swipes their tag, that contributes to both duplicated and unduplicated information. So duplicated refers to the fact that somebody is there multiple times. It is an individual, so you're counting activities when it's duplicated. When you're looking at unduplicated data, you're looking at the body, the individual who's coming to the center. So the individual may be checking in for 3 or 4 activities during the day, which is captured under duplicated. So one of the things we highlighted at the public hearing last week is that we, based on the data that we're looking at, we are averaging about 250 seniors coming in weekly through the center. So I think that number existed, but we weren't capturing it. We didn't have a way to capture all the nuances of all the different activities they were attending. The second slide that Michael's gonna pull up, I thought was important to bring up, is the breakdown by age. So the first chart on the left is that 1 month that we're capturing, March 1st to April 1st. And the second slide is 1 year, from April 1 of 2023 to April 1 of 2024. Of significant note is the age bracket from 80 to 84. We've seen a significant increase in that area. It does make sense because baby boomers, i.e. seniors, are living longer. But what we're experiencing of course is that as we all age, we have more needs. So they may have more needs and they may be using more apparatus, cane, walker, wheelchair. And that really necessitates that we are keeping pace with that. And we have resources, i.e. vehicles that can accommodate more handicapped folks. And we have worked very hard in the last, I would say 2 months to get our grant applications out to try to alleviate that concern. We've had a number of mechanical issues with our buses. I would say in the last year we've been, sort of plagued with that. But we have our 5310 grant in at this point. It does take a long time for that to be processed, but it's in. And we're hopeful we're gonna get a bus replacement for that. And we are also hopeful that we're going to acquire a transit van with the ARPA money that every senior center has received across the country. So I thought that the age was something that you may want to see. So the next page, maybe we could go back to that after I finish this.
Yeah, you tell me what.
Okay, that you were just bringing up. So the next page is event and activity breakdown for 1 year. And then I think the next page is for 1 month. So if you go down to the second to the last column, under unduplicated, remember duplicated is relative to activities, unduplicated is the body, the person who's coming in. We have about 400, we say give or take 420 active members that are coming into the center for whatever reason. They may be coming to the trips, the parties, they may be coming every day. That's kind of the area. So out of our 600 plus members that are registered, we feel that we're pretty confident with over 400 are coming to the center for some reason. So that is capturing the year, then the next slide is capturing that 1 month from March 1st to April 1st of this year. Let's see, okay, the next slide. So, what we did in this slide is, or what we were looking at is an individual's profile on the activities that a particular individual comes to. So we took an example of someone who is there all the time. Basically 5 days a week, they're attending multiple activities, they come to all the parties, they come to all the trips. They're pretty much, our gold star member, basically. And so you could see under, you could just see the top half, it tells you specifically the individual activities that they're coming to and what those total events are. The next area where you see special events and activities, those are all the special things we offer, presentations, parties, trips, anything that is a special activity. When you look at our newsletter every month, we bold everything on the calendar that's new for the month or it's a new activity for the month. So if you scroll down, Michael, to, I think it's really on the next page. Oh no, go up for a moment, please, thank you. And so you'll see the special events are 41, so 41 different special events this person attended in addition to the regular activities that were up above at 273. And then all events at the bottom, Michael. Thank you. All events, activities, participation 314. That's a pretty active member. We strive to, and we would hope that all members would be at that capacity. So that is an example of really like a high functioning senior, somebody who's very independent, comes and goes. You could see that the things that they're there for. They're socializing, they're doing exercise, they're coming to discussions, they're playing cards. You could continue to scroll down there, Michael. It's just, this is the raw data for that person. Up above, you saw the quantification of those particular activities. Okay, so that's a highly active member.
That's someone who lives at the senior center.
Yeah, they do a lot of other things in the community, this particular person too. This individual does a lot in the community as well, surprisingly. Then this individual is 82 years old, so they are very active at 82. The second member is someone who, they probably come to bingo every week, they come on trips with us, they come to the parties, but we feel this person is like middle of the road, somebody who's regular enough, but they're not there every day like the first individual. And these are all the things that this person, you're on example 3 now, Michael. So example 3, remember 3 is someone who comes for a specific activity, they come, it's like a targeted attendance at the center. They're coming for very specific things. And so we tried to give you an example of somebody who's very active, somebody who's middle of the road, and somebody who's maybe not as active. So I do want to stress that when this report, this page we're on now, this is all manually calculated by the report below, which is generated by My Senior Center. So if you scroll down, this is the report you get on an individual who comes into the center. That's how My Senior Center prints it out. So we manually calculate how many times they were at bingo, how many times they went shopping, how many times we did that for the benefit of your view tonight.
So you have to manually enter that, Paul.
No, what I'm saying is we had to manually review the members list here, and we just quantified how many times you're at bingo, how many times you're just socialized, how many times you went to Gainer Tech for lunch.
Okay.
So we put that together for your benefit tonight.
What's the second set of numbers right after bingo? 32/7, what does that mean?
Okay, 32 times out of the 7.
That's what I believe it is, yes. That was offered X amount of times, and of the X amount of times, those are the times that person attended.
No, that can't be right. Gainer Tech lunch, 30 out of 30.
Well, we do that twice a month now, so, and we started it over a year ago, so it is possible. Well, I can seek clarification from my senior center on that, this is how we get the raw data.
There's no way to put in that it can calculate it out for you.
I'm sure there is, it's a computer.
We called my senior center this week to get that feedback, and they have not given us another mechanism to pull the data. Like above, so, you know,
That's great.
Does anybody know Excel down there? Because this data can be fed right into an Excel.
are you talking about at the senior center? Yes, yes.
This data can be pulled in, if it's done on a spreadsheet,
Mhm.
we pull it in and do a pivot table.
Yeah, we'll work on that with,
Okay.
we'll place myself and Laura and
Okay,
be able to
All the
capitalize.
information's there, so we're not swiping for no reason.
Well, this, yeah, and this is for, you know, we've come a long way in a year.
Mhm,
Starting
right,
this
right.
system, and, you know, any electronic system you have to have the database to be able to carve out what you want. So it's only, it will get better and better and better the more we use it and the more we make those requests for the specific data we're looking for. So, you know, a year ago, we were very much in the infancy stages. We are, every day, I do a quality control piece by pulling the attendance report from the day before to ensure people are scanning in, because we do have people that we are stopping daily to say, we didn't see you scan in, you know, I saw you on the camera, you came right onto the elevator, we can't get the data if people aren't scanning in.
Right.
So, and sometimes people scan in also, but they forget to check the activity they're there for, they just scan in and then hit finish, so it does not capture that particular activity that they're there for. So we're always trying to work with seniors on educating, and the system does sometimes, like power down.
Mhm.
So some seniors will come in the afternoon and say, why couldn't, the system wasn't up when I was down there, we have to reboot the system, so sometimes that happens too. And so we try to account for the bodies that are coming in, that maybe don't tell us it's not working downstairs. So, let's see, do we have more slides after that? Yes, we do. The last slide is our municipal agent statute, it's a state statute, I think you folks asked for that last month. So there's the information on that. I can certainly read it if you folks want me to do that.
Yeah. That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
the only thing, when I read it, the only thing that I noticed is there's a report needed to go to the,
Mhm,
okay, on a yearly basis.
yeah,
That's the only deliverable that you have.
yeah. Yeah, and the other thing that we're going to try to do in this new fiscal year is have our reporting carve out that information that's required for the state reporting. Not everything that the state is asking for, we necessarily do at our center. It may not be a program we use or what have you, but yeah, we're gonna try to put those parameters in place, so it's feeding that data, you know, once a year to the state. Any questions about that?
Impressive. I mean, just the numbers, we have nothing to compare it to really, but I think it's 400 that active people, that's a lot.
Yeah, and you know, our membership continues to go up. I think that was one of the slides that was presented to the in the public hearing, is that the membership, you know, every week, we still have a number of people coming on board. It's amazing how many people come in, and you know, and one of the things I wanna stress is that membership is fluid, it's flexible, it's, you know, so you might have a lot of people coming for a period of time and then you see a little bit of a lull. We always see a lull December, January, February, then things start picking up in March, so then it's pretty busy through the summertime. And then late fall, it starts to, some people go south, but some people don't like to come out in cold weather. Just today, number of people called and canceled for various reasons, because it's raining out and they don't wanna come out, so there are, you know, weather certainly impacts attendance. But You know, I think with anything in life, you are very, very involved, and then sometimes you say, I wanna take a break, I wanna step back for a little bit, I wanna just take a break and spend some time, doing what I wanna do, and then people re-engage, so you see some fluctuation. Member one that we looked at, that's not happening. That person's there
They're not
all the
slowing
time.
down.
But I think sometimes that's happens with people, other priorities come up to the forefront in their life, so then the senior center takes a back seat. And then when they're feeling healthy or whatever, they re-engage.
How do you, one of the things I looked at was the number of birthdays in January, last year and January this year. And there were 10 people that were not on the list this year and 17 joined. So there was a change. How do you clean the list for people that die?
Yeah. So we, generally, we watch the obituaries, that's really our number one resource, and so we do that, every day, we're looking at that. We have had a number of seniors pass, I would say, in the last 12 months, significantly. I think this was the year that we saw the most people pass, and not COVID related type of things. So, but once that person in my senior center, before my senior center, we would just pull the paperwork and, it went into a file, but we would just pull it out. But with my senior center, they become inactive. You enter in their information, the dates or whatever it's asking you for in the fields, and then it goes into an inactive status. So nothing in this system ever is deleted. Nothing can get deleted in here. We can just make things, so we had one woman who moved away, she was placed by the probate court in a long-term facility. And it was it was in New Haven or something, we know she's not gonna be coming back, so she was made inactive. But that's a rarity, it's just mostly people that
That's the registrar used to keep the registration, is just look at the obituaries.
Yeah, and we also communicate with the clerk's office too, with Lisa, she's. So, the first year I was here, I think we submitted a list of over 300 names. And they looked up, to see if people had moved or had passed or what have you. They were able to, I think, move like 35 people from that list. We're probably down to about 80 people on that list, and the original list that I started with was 652 members, so we're down to about 80 people who I have not seen since I've been there. So they could be in placement, they could have moved, they could have passed. We haven't been able to confirm that. So that's one of the things the new assistant is gonna be working on. We're gonna try to look online to see if we can find those folks and see what their status is at this point. I think Michael and I were discussing the other day that the thing that I would like to accomplish this year with my senior center is to have a 30, 60, and 90-day report for people that you haven't seen in 30, 60, or 90 days, so that we can engage them. I just never have had the time to do that for somebody who drops off or we don't know. A lot of people tell you this one's in the hospital, this one's sick, or what have you, but if we don't know,
Reach out.
exactly, so we wanna create a mechanism by using the data to tell us who hasn't been there in a significant period of time and trying to engage them or find out what's going on. So
Really nice.
that's what we're trying to do in the next.
What a benefit of this,
Yeah.
That's great, thank you,
You're welcome.
amazing. Questions? Thank you so much. That's amazing, and it's a testament to what you are doing down there, like just the list of activities.
Thank you.
Pages. Never mind how many times, what everybody can be doing. Yeah.
We try to have
Yes.
some.
And right, and there are those who just like their regular,
We're like regular.
they like, their
members.
poker game or and that's,
Yeah.
but it draws them in. It
Mhm.
brings them in for socialization, maybe a meal, maybe, that just drawing them in, even if it's just for one event, activity, a week,
Yeah,
a day,
exactly.
that
Yeah,
it's good. Okay, any other questions? And seniors community center update, do we have any, I'm sorry. No, sorry, is that right? Okay. We're on the old business now, I'm sorry, senior community center update.
Nothing further to
nothing,
report,
yeah.
we had the carpets cleaned this past weekend, so please stop in and take a look. And Laura touched on the grants, I did not mention under my report and should have that we have executed an application for one grant, that was the 5310.
Mhm.
And now we're close to submitting an application for the second grant, which is by the Department of Aging. And hopefully.
Federal ARPA money through, just distributed through Department of Aging, yes.
Hopefully we'll be submitting for that grant, and what we're asking for is a van that's not quite as big as one of the buses. It'll give us some more flexibility, it will allow us to have an additional person in a wheelchair in this particular van. And yet it's small enough so that I might be able to drive it if we needed to, Laura might be able to drive it. Because you don't need a CDL license to drive it or special I don't know if we need a special certification, but we would need a CDL.
Passenger, yeah, you need a passenger what's the
License.
text, it's a different term, but yes, but it's, yes, we don't,
You don't need a
would not
commercial.
require a CDL and the van that we're looking at, we could get 2 wheelchairs, so we've had issues in the past where we have 2 persons that have to be picked up and we have to take one home and come back and get the other one because we can't get 2 on our current buses, so that has been a problem. And so this will rectify that for us and yeah, and it's it's a pretty nice, we looked at the vehicles, we all looked at them, and it's a very nice vehicle. Very smooth, quiet, it's,
Can I ask Laura, are you, and I don't, if you can observe, are you finding more seniors reliant on wheelchairs, is that?
yeah, so yeah, we're seeing that, I mean, we're seeing a lot of people get into a walker situation, we're definitely seeing more of that. And fortunate for us, we have a lot of people who donate walkers and other equipment to the center for loved ones who have passed on, and so they are always utilized, they move very fast, very quickly from the center. But yeah, I think we're seeing that, there's a couple of people recently have moved into a wheelchair, and sometimes it's not required all the time, but when they're at the center, it makes the most sense, that they feel more comfortable if they're sitting, in a
Rather than getting
wheelchair.
up and down.
Exactly, when they're there, so they opt to do that, but yeah,
And we have some rehab circumstances too, where someone just needs to be in a wheelchair temporarily.
yeah.
How come you count those trips by one-way trips? Don't they come back?
That's required by the state,
One-way trips?
we have to count them by one-way trips, yes.
Okay,
Because some people don't, like, some people get a ride to the center for activity and then they take the bus to go home. They might go to lunch with their friend, then they drop them off and then they need a ride home. So sometimes that happens. Or some people get rides to doctor's appointments or procedures, but then they have someone else pick them up.
because
Cause maybe they're not able to be on their own, so it does happen, but it's very specific on the state reporting form is one-way trips, and that's just,
Okay.
that's what we report for the grant that we have on the 2019 bus. Which we'll report the same when we get our new bus, but yeah, that's how they operate.
So this particular second grant that we're applying for, there will have to be, the town of Watertown will have to pay because the formula is whatever money that Watertown.
Yeah.
Will receive by the formula, so we're asking for something that's a little bit more expensive than what the formula will allow. But it's what'll serve the department and our
What you need.
population the best. So at some point, we may need to lobby council and others that. We
We
don't
need
want
this
to
money.
lose sight of
Mhm.
this investment, especially if the state's picking up nearly 70-80% of the cost.
Important to see where the population is going to
Yes.
and what the
Yeah.
needs will be.
Yes, and if you remember, sort of like the old time thought of, a wheelchair car, people used to request a wheelchair car if they needed safe transportation, maybe to and from a doctor's office. And we've looked at some of those vehicles, but it's also restrictive because you can't really get anybody else in the vehicle other than the driver and the person in the wheelchair. So it's not really the best use of our resources because we have to be picking up other people at the same time. And so, I think the option we looked at is the best option and it gets as close as most of that cost will be paid for by the ARPA funds. Not 100%, but most of it will be paid for.
And something less expensive would also, if you're in with the wheelchair, the way some of those smaller vehicles are designed. The person in the wheelchair is going to be sitting up above and on a pitch. It's not, we could do better.
Yeah.
And by purchasing something that's a little bit bigger than a minivan and smaller than a bus is what we believe is the best interest of the community.
Now, these bus drives, this service is for residents of Watertown, Oakville?
Only for, yes, residents of Watertown and Oakville, correct. They can get dial-a-ride. We encourage anybody who puts application in for the town of Watertown bus can also apply for dial-a-ride. Dial-a-ride will take them out of town to the catchment towns on Tuesdays for free, any other day $3.50 one way. So they can go to other towns, but we only go to Waterbury on Mondays and Wednesdays for doctor's appointments. I can't say that's an absolute, if we can accommodate individuals on another day of the week because they have to attend an appointment, we do try to work with them. But we try to keep to Mondays and Wednesdays. And we do go to Middlebury, like on Straits Turnpike, right over the line to those medical office buildings, we do accommodate those folks.
Thank you. New business, I think we took care of the job description of the municipal agent. Any other questions on that? We did take care of that. The update on the senior bus policy.
So I have the policy here this evening. And what I'd like though is a little bit more time for us to review it.
Okay,
We have already started to make some changes to it. I believe what's in italics is revisions to the current.
Recommendations, yes.
So Laura and I are working on this as we speak, so I don't have a final draft to present to you this evening.
That's fine.
If anybody would like a copy of the policy as it's currently written, I'd be happy to send that to you.
The only comment I had on before was the word residents, and we figured out that, so that was the only comment. And, well, another cost, are you gonna take the cost out?
The cost is only a suggested donation, 50 cents one way.
Does anybody ever pay it?
We don't usually get the one-way cost, but people do buy the $5 book. That does happen, I would say maybe 10-15 times a year, people buy that. But that is, I wanna stress that that's part of getting the 5310 grant is you can't mandate cost.
You cannot,
You cannot mandate cost, that's part of the grant,
that's why it's a donation.
yes. Always has to be a donation.
so thank you.
So again, if anybody would like to review these policies along with us, we'd be happy to, because I think eventually they may have to, we'll probably bring before this commission to recommend that the town council approve it. So maybe we'll try to have something for you next month.
That's fine. No, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know that I have the old one at home too.
And what we'll do is if it's okay, do you prefer that we send this to you before the meeting to review, so that if you write about time, you can do that at the meeting?
One of the things that they do is they put, the old application meeting, they put what they call a pack.
Yes, correct.
If you put it there,
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes the packet goes up a little late, so we may send something like this out even a week before, if we're ready. I
Yeah,
don't wanna put any more pressure on you.
no, and nor do we. No, it's a lot of work. I remember when we did it, it was
All right,
many meetings.
that's in our wheelhouse as we speak.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And we did report on my senior center, so thank you very much, Laura and Michael, for that. And apologies again for being late. Speaking from Hartford. Any other questions, commission? Comments?
ask for new business. I'd like new business,
I'm sorry?
I'd like to write something for new business.
Okay, Mr. Mickle would like to request to open the agenda.
To add a,
Do we have a second? Motion.
thank you. I guess it's new business B, Last week, we talked about the vacancy, and maybe, getting, people to be, alternate members. We talked about that. I went back and looked at the ordinance for the,
Oh, right.
yeah, on this commission.
Excuse me, yes.
Sometimes we have a hard time, at least in the past, you have a terrible time. And,
I'm getting, yes.
terrible time.
Yes.
It's been much better recently. But I went back to the, yeah, quorum. I went back and looked at the ordinance for the senior center. And I found here effective.
For the Commission on Aging?
Commission on Aging, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Section 2-182. It says effective June 1st, 1972, so this has been there a while. There shall be appointed 4 members of the Commission on Aging to serve 1-year term and 5-year term and 5 members to serve a 2-year term. That's when they first start out there.
Yeah.
Thereafter, all appointments should be made for a period of 2 years. No more than 5 members may be a member of the same political party. So I said, okay. If we look at the vacancy here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Republicans. So I'm suggesting the vacancy should be the Democratic appointment.
That would make sense.
Okay.
And I think that the town council has to make sure that you have the minority representation in the commission.
So,
But that's up to the town council.
well, I just want us to know that this is what I'm gonna do.
Okay, I mean, the town council has to, the political parties make the the recommendation of the appointment, yes. And then the town council approves it. But it has to come from the parties, the appointment has to come from the political parties.
Because they just enough problems finding the candidate also.
Doesn't matter.
Is Krista still on this commission?
Mr. Palumbo?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I thought so.
She serves to January 25.
Okay.
A year. Come on.
No. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, it's April, yeah. Yeah, but she hasn't been.
One meeting.
Yeah,
We usually get a quorum though, so.
we do, but if you have somebody who's been absent for 3 or 4 meetings in a row, yeah, that's not. You might, can you see the list? Who else we have? Is there anybody else who's, how many other vacancies do we have?
Doug's good one.
Oh,
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
yeah. Okay. All right. There's nothing we need to do to that. I was just letting us know that he was going to bring that to the town council's attention. Any more comments? Additional information? Oh, my goodness.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, my goodness. Can we have a second to the motion?
Second.
Karen Hosking, seconded. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Now I
you.
can make my second movie.
There you go. There we go. Oh, wow.
Thank you, everyone.
All the names are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So quickly, let's go around Lambert on this list. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, but she resigned, so. Oh, she's the vacancy. Everyone else is here.
Who?
Loretta,
No. Who did I,
replace?
yeah, I thought that's who I replaced, no?
No, it was the